Okay, so I apologize for that. That was a technical difficulty there. Apparently I didn't have my sound set up correctly, and then my GoPro webcam just stopped working. But I delivered a really great introduction to this video and what I'm doing, and yeah, just take my word for it. But basically, what I'm doing tonight is taking a break from Stellaris, which I put like 35 hours into, and I'm just kind of getting hung up on and realizing it's going to take me quite a few more hours to actually finish it. So I wanted to get back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 because I love it and I play it a lot off stream, and I just wanted to get back into it. So basically what I've been doing lately is trying to practice with the MCDU and all of the different flight computer autopilot aspects. And one thing that I have not done yet is to actually manually program the MCDU within the sim. So I can create a flight plan on the world map page, but I've never done that inside the plane itself, and I would really like to know how to do that. So that is what I will be attempting tonight. And basically I found on YouTube, there's a great guy on YouTube called 320 Sim Pilot, and he's a real Airbus pilot, and he makes these videos basically showing you how to do different things on the Airbus. And so what I'm going to do is kind of follow along to his video, and honestly I'm not really clear on DMCA rules if that's even okay, but I'm going to do it and hopefully it won't come back to haunt me. So I'm just going to basically follow along and yeah, see if I can input a flight from Denver International to Salt Lake City, and maybe if there's time tonight, I only have about an hour, but if there's time I'll go ahead and try to make that flight. So without further ado, I will hop into the sim. Okay, so here I am on the world map. Here's my plane. Just for kicks, I like to put the fuel and payload all the way to, well, fuel up to 100, payload to about 80, just because I kind of enjoy being able to fly that heavier plane. One thing he did note, I've watched this video a couple times, and one thing he did note is to pay attention to your Mach percentage right here. So that's 26.8. Forgot to mention, another thing I'm doing tonight is basically creating a sort of checklist document that I can reference while doing these more commercial type of flight in Flight Sim. So you're going to be seeing that popping up. It's just a Google Doc. At some point I'll add a link so people can actually access it if they want to use it as a resource. So I'm going to be typing some things in just so that I have a checklist to go by in the future. So that's what you're about to see here. It's on this screen. I just call it MSFS 2020 General Procedures. Okay, so to do that, one of the things I need to do, I'm gonna say, like, I need to call this like I'll just call it on world map. Check percent Mach. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually just put a couple X's right here so I can go like that, and well, yeah, the point is I'm gonna record it here while I have the screen up. So there's that. I think that's the only thing I really need to do before I actually get into the sim. I do need to, of course, select my departure airport, which is going to be KDEN, and runway. I don't know if it matters. Oh, hold up. Before I do this, what I need to do is actually make a flight plan. And the way you do that, apparently there's a website. Get CG numbers in kilograms. Hold up, I think I already did that wrong. Let me just go back here. What weight does it need, I wonder? Gallons, pounds. There must be something down here that I'm supposed to convert to kilograms. So let me go out here. And this is the video I'm talking about. You can see the title down here if you're interested.
RIP, and it stands for this would actually NIT A your arrival. So we need this will come from know the temperature is going to be different. Right, so that is a NIT A done. We've given it where we're going, and we've told it flight number, cost and next. First we are on this page, and this is P.
Okay, so I am going to go through each of these steps, diff strip. But you know what? That's a good place to start. Why don't I just start this video and just follow along? That's probably the easiest way to do this. I'll put it on 1.5 times just to get through it a little faster.
In the rain, as you can see, our poor ground colleague has stood out here, whilst the other pilot will be setting up the MCDU. And luckily for us today, that will be us. We'll be in the nice, cozy and warm flight deck doing short setting up the computer. Right, let's get started. Okay, so there's a simple way to remember how to set this up and the things you need to do. Now, not all of those things are modelled in this aircraft, so we'll just do what we can. But it's a mnemonic called diff strip. So D-I-F-S-R-I-P. And it stands for a few different things. So it goes data in its A, flight plan, secondary flight plan, radio nav in its B, and performance. So let's go through each one of those now.
I'm going to go ahead and write that down actually. I'm going to make this a heading 2 and then basically go heading 3. Data. Hit A. So those are basically all, these should all be heading 3. And I'm just diff srip. Diff srip.
First we are on this page, and this is where the aircraft will power onto. You can get to this page by pressing data and aircraft status. That's why this is the D for data. What we're looking at is checking that it's got all the right numbers in it and so on. Now this is pretty simple. And you'd also check the database is valid. Now this is not valid, this is an old database, but that's all we have in this flight simulator for now. In the real aircraft, this would actually cover the dates you're on, and you have a backup database built into it as well. Primarily so that you can have, well, you have the other one ready, but also in case of any sort of corruption of the other database, you've got a backup loaded. There we go, so that is now checked as correct. Now we've checked that, we can go from D to I, init A. So that's talking about init, which is here, and I'm going to press init. And this is called init A. There is an init B. If you press this arrow, this is init B, but we want to be on init A, which is the core of what we're setting up, loading in our route and so on. So into here, I'm going to enter the routes. Now I'm getting this from SimBrief, and hopefully I can put up a picture of this on the screen right now. SimBrief is an excellent website. I'll put the link in the description, and it allows you to generate flight plans with fuel and so on, and realistic airways.
Okay, so that is what I'm going to do next. Let me see, where did I write that down? So really, you need to create your flight plan before you actually start your diff strip. Okay, so create flight plan using simbrief.com. I'll make that bold, and then I'll hyperlink this part out. Okay. SimBrief. Wow, okay. I will allow some cookies. And yeah, how do you actually do this? Get started. I have to register here. Not sure it matters. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on my other monitor. Just so nobody can see. Terms and consent. I guarantee you these terms include a bunch of stuff about like You know, this is not for real world use and whatnot, just because they could definitely get in big trouble over that. So I'm just going through activating my account. Welcome to SimBrief, etc. Logging in. Keep me logged in, please. And here we go. Throw it back on this monitor. Okay, so looks like I can save. That's very cool. Yeah, let's just get into it. Create new flight. Airline. I don't have one. Maybe I don't need to do that. Depart and arrive. So these are depart. Oh, this is the airport code. So KDEN to KSLC. Alternate. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever date is today. That's fine. I don't really care that much. I am going to be going by A320 Neo. They don't have that, but I guess that's a A320-200. 320 Neo. I'm not sure if that's a 200 or not, to be honest, but don't really have any options. Climb profile. No idea what that is. Cruise. No idea. Just absolutely no idea on a lot of this stuff, to be honest. Oops, 75649, that's the tail number of the aircraft that I soloed in, so I like to kind of get that in. Optional entries, scheduled flight time, you know. Departure runway and arrival runway. So here's the question. I thought this was going to tell me like which runway was actually active. That's why I'm a little confused. Okay, Let's see, we have the number of passengers, cargo, so I don't really know. Yeah, interesting. I feel like Microsoft Flight Simulator is really lacking because, like, I think I've seen in X-Plane 11 you can actually pick the number of passengers, basically, and cargo, whereas in this you're just talking pounds, so it's like, what do you want me to do? Sit there and do the math? I have no idea, you know? But since I am going to 80%, maybe I'll just do 80% of 180. It's 144. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Cargo, I don't know what these numbers are. Cargo, I don't know. Maybe I'll do the same thing, 80% of 18.9 is 15.12. 15.1, and I don't know what a ZFW is, so I don't know what to tell you there. So, okay, I don't know what an air rack is. Route, that's it. Only a few waypoints it looks like. So, that's fine. I'm not going to worry about a lot of this stuff because I just, again, don't really know what I'm doing. I do kind of want to... So there's the route. I wonder if I should pick the runways. I just don't know what the basis is for choosing this. Is there a website that tells you what runways are active? AirNav. Airport operations. Let's see. So these are just listing the runways. Here we go. How do you check active runways? Live flight, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I could look at live flight, but I'm not going to really worry about it because most of the time I'm actually going to be picking my runways based on what my actual approach into that airport was, because a lot of what I do is basically fly trips that I've made previously. So it looks like, I'm not actually sure how to do this, but basically I think this is my whole route, right? I wonder how you print this. Or I wonder how you, not print, but I wonder how you get it to look like this. Generate a flight plan using these options. I feel like there should be something at the bottom that just says like print or something. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Maybe, so if I click that, let's analyze route to, route is valid. Okay, selections. OFP. There's gotta be a way. Generate OFP? Do you wish to generate this? Okay, hold on. Generating briefing package. Okay, so OFP, routing. I'm just not seeing...
And with the fuel and so on, and realistic airways. Now, if you don't want to do this, you could load in the route directly from Microsoft Flight Simulator, which lets you do it on the main page where you set your departure and your arrival. But I'm going to show you how you'll do it just in the aircraft without any other information, or without any other preloading, sorry. So starting in EHAM. So in principle, in the MCDU, you type it in, and it appears at the bottom here. If you see amber boxes or anything like that, it means it needs information, so you're going to need to give it to it. So you type it in and copy the...
So I think what I need is here. I'm going to go ahead and get back into planes. This is init A.
So we need EHAM / because that's from. We're going to Rome, which is LIRF, Rome Fiumicino.
Okay, let me get into the plane and start rolling with this. Denver, runway, random. That's fine, I guess. I have no idea. And now, of course, here's hoping that Microsoft Flight Simulator actually works correctly, because it is known to have its share of bugs, that is for sure. While that loads, I'll just check the sound a little bit. Sounds pretty good. Man, I'm tired. I'm so tired after my weekends. I always just end up staying up late just to maximize my weekend time, and then I start the week super tired. Not bad, I guess.
Denver Tower Airbus November 7 5649 are running at runway 16 right, departing straight out.
So I am almost always going. Ooh, that's beautiful. Wow, look at that. Okay, so yeah, and what did I just say? I'm here, and my PFD is completely glitching out, obviously. So I need to go ahead and actually hit escape and restart the flight. I don't know why it does this. It does it like all the time. It's frustrating, but usually it only takes clicking restart to fix that. One thing I was going to say is, just because of how my schedule is, I'm almost always going to end up flying at night. So instead of doing that, what I'm actually going to do is, I found this random time generator that just basically spits out a random time between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And so I'm just basically going to click that, and that is the time that I'm going to go with. So it's going to be this one, 11 o'clock. So what I'll do is hit ready to fly, and now if I look at my PFD, just miraculously it is working totally fine. Riddle me that one, and I'm going to come up here to weather and go to 10 o'clock. Because we're going to be flying over some beautiful mountains, and I would actually like to see said mountains. Okay, so here we are. The parking brake is set. I'm not going to pay attention to too much right now because I want to get this rolling. So yeah, the first step was database. I'm checking the database, March 25th through April 21. Are those the dates on which it is valid, I guess? Obviously, we are in that window today. So I'm going to consider step D, to be complete. Check database dates. Cool. So now we're going to init A. Okay, so this is where we're going to type in KDEN/KSLC and populate. Oh, here we go. Populate that window there. Okay.
So these amber boxes telling me I need to put that in there. And there we go. Now it takes me to this screen, and it's saying there are no company routes stored. Sometimes airlines will have routes loaded into the database, and that way it would appear company route 1.
Okay, so basically, let me just write something down real quick. Populate from, I'm going to just say airport codes. Okay, so populate from 2 airport codes. No company routes, that's fine.
So these amber boxes telling me I need to put that in there. And there we go. Now it takes me to this screen, and it's saying there are no company routes stored. Sometimes airlines will have routes loaded into the database, and that way it would appear company route 1, 2, 3. And you could choose one of those, and it would already know the route, by which I mean the airways and the waypoints and so on. We don't have any, so we're going to return. And there we go, it's loaded that in. Now it's automatically generated a few things here. 245 is there because I told the flight simulator that was my flight number for today. So I'm going to put in...
I just totally missed what he hit. Did he hit return? Or none? Yeah, must have been return. Okay, so here we are. Hold up. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let me go back here.
My actual call sign, SIM 245, which is what you've been in there. That's what air traffic will see.
Let's see, flight number 1123. That's fine. I don't really, doesn't really matter to me all that much. I don't know. I guess I could do like top 1 to fizzle. Well, just to throw something in there. Top 1. Alright, that's kind of cool.
When they're seeing us on the radar. Alternate airport, again, SimBrief will tell you this. For us today, it's Lima, India, Romeo, November. So you can type that in there.
Alternate airport. according to SimBrief is, whoops, let me get through here. Okay, so KDEN, KSLC, I know I saw that somewhere. Alternate is, there it is, KEVW. Where am I going? Get back here. It's gonna be flight number, alternate. What did I say? KEVW? KEVW. It's my alternate, no company route, so that's fine.
Cost index. Again, this will come from your flight plan. There's all sorts of cost indexes used. The higher the number, the faster it is and the more fuel you burn. So typically anywhere from 0, 30, somewhere around there. So let's go, for example, with 17 as a cost index.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Because he's using the number 17 and he is a real Airbus pilot, I'm just gonna call, should it be an A320 or an A320 Neo? I think it's an A322N if it's the Neo. I'm gonna put a question mark because I really have no idea what the right thing to do is here. But in this case, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a 17. Okay.
Cruising flight level is chosen to flight level 360. I want to cruise at 330 according to my SimBrief flight plan.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a cruise altitude from SimBrief. I don't need any of these windows open anymore. Cruise altitude. I'm sure it's right here, and I just am not even seeing it. Let's see, Denver, blah blah blah. There's a cruise, CRZ. It's only picking up the one, so I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking here. CI-10? What is that even? I'm not even sure what that means. Ground distance is 439. Cruise CI-10. I don't know. I'm not sure where. Maybe there's somewhere that says cruise spelled out. Oh, here it is. Flight level 360. So that's perfect. So can I just be 360 and put that there? Yeah, there we go. And temp auto-populated.
So I'm going to put 330 / and it should automatically give you the temperature. That's the temperature in the cruise. You can change that if you know the temperature is going to be different.
Okay, so input flight level. Temperature should auto populate. Okay.
Right, so that is in its A done. We've given it where we're going, and we've told it flight number, cost index, so it's calculated a few things, what cruising flight level we're using. Excellent. Now let's go to flight plan. So here we go, flight plan is the next step, and it's totally blank. We've got from EHAM to LIRF and a decel point, nothing else in there. So how are we going to load in our flight plan? Well, to start off with, we need to know the departure we want to use. Again, SimBrief will tell you this, but you can load it in on the Flight Simulator homepage. When you're setting up the flight, if you simply select the sort of airways you want to use, so high altitude airways, for example, for this sort of flight, and then you can choose the SID and start in there. Once you have selected it, you'll see it drawn on the map, and hopefully it will connect to your flight plan. This is where SimBrief is really useful because it will automatically connect the route. So your SID and your star, your SID is your departure, your star is your arrival, as you can see here, selecting a VOR arrival and then a star. They'll tie up if you use SimBrief because it will choose the right star for the waypoints on your flight plan. But what I'm going to do is enter it from my SimBrief generated flight plan.
Okay, so route ID And then he has this big long string. So where is that actually shown? Departure ATC clearance. I don't know, man. This is like 10 pages long, so I'm not sure. Not sure where I'm looking. Operational impacts. Where's that? Okay, so route ID, default route, I guess. So basically we have, this is our route. So let's see how you actually...
So that says I'm going via Rendy. So select the airports that you're departing from. So this, press flight plan once to get to this page. Select next to that airport, so that's this key up here, and then it's actually this one, lateral revision from EHAM. But we want to put in our departure, so let's put departure.
Okay, so let me get through that real quick. So flight plan. So you select that, and then we have this screen. Okay.
And today I think I'm departing from runway 24. Select next to that airport, so that's this key up here, and then it's actually this one, lateral revision from EHAM. But we want to put in our departure, so let's put departure.
Okay, so then we go to our departure. Okay, that's easy enough. Let me go to return real quick from departure. Yeah. And my departure today is that foot 4? Or, no. 17 right, I guess. Right? Is there another 17 right? No. So we're just assigning the runway, basically. Okay, and here, maybe there's a foot 4. No.
Gotcha. And today I think I'm departing from runway 24. Now, if you're not sure about this, you can use air traffic control, which will give you clearances, and that's how you normally find out in real life. It would just depend on what runway that airport is using, depending on the wind and so on. You want to take off into a headwind, so that would be the main sort of criteria. But if I put in runway 24, and then I'm looking for the SID that matches up to my flight plan. So that is the Rendy 1 Sierra, so I can select that there.
Well, okay.
So that says I'm going by...
He had EHAM 24 Rendy, and I have KDEN 17 right, foot 4. So there should be a foot 4 in here somewhere, right? Are these alphabetical or no? Yeah, they are. So I think the problem I'm running into here is that Microsoft Flight Sim does not have all of the departures. So what should I do, I wonder? Not a whole lot I can do about this, unfortunately. I could go back to SimBrief and see if I could, like, assign that or something. Yeah, let's see. So, yeah. Okay. So I could do, like, Rocky 4. Let's see if I have that one. Nope. R. Did I have... Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I have the Burkham? Nope, don't have that. Am I at the right airport? KDEN to KSLC. Yep, KDEN. Okay. I guess I can view more routes. There weren't any Rockies, there weren't any Foots. There is a Zimmer, but it's invalid for ARAC 1903, whatever that means. But I don't really have a choice, because I don't have any of these other ones. So why don't I do the Zimmer 2? And, shoot, now I got something weird going on. But I really don't have a choice for the departure, so I'm just going to stick with it. And go to the Zimmer 2. And hope that that does not come back to haunt me.
Via Rendy. Sure about this, you can use air traffic control, which will give you clearances, and that's how you normally find out in real life. It will just depend on what runway that airport is using, depending on the wind and so on. You want to take off into a headwind, so that would be the main sort of criteria. But if I put in runway 24, and then I'm looking for the SID that matches up to my flight plan, so that is the Rendy 1 Sierra, so I can select that there. And there you go, I've got runway 24 with my SID, and there's no transition available on this, so that's fine. If I click these arrows, it just lets me re-choose. So if you want to change your mind, I could go in and choose another runway like 09 and then fiddle with it. But I'm happy with 24, so let's go back to runway 24 and Rendy 1 Sierra. And insert. Now you don't.
Okay, so now I can hit insert right here. 17 right to Zimmer 2, and there is a transition. I don't know, I guess that's fine. So now that basically populated all this stuff in here. To Zimmer, to Chingy, and then we're going straight to KSLC. Okay, so let me come up here and let me just take a glance. If I go out, yeah. To plan, that kind of makes it easier. Now I can actually click through. I think this will work, yeah. Okay, well, there's something. Okay.
Normally check that against your chart, but as we don't have that today, see, I can go back here. Or you may not have it at home. If you want to use Navigraph, you can, and that's what I use, but it does require a subscription. What we can do is just check that this looks roughly sensible. So I know I'm going southeast down to Rome, so if I go to plan up here, rest constraint, and I've got this, which is the range set to 10. Now I can just scroll through the waypoints in here with that little arrow, and it flies along, and it shows me on this screen where the airplane will go. So that all looks pretty good, and that's going to take me out to that waypoint at Dupo. Okay, great. So at Dupo, my sim brief agrees. So from a Dupo, I'm going to take an airway. The airway is Zulu 739. So again, select that point.
Okay, so input your departure by selecting from airport and departure. Departure, I'm going to call it departure SIDS. Right? It's plural, right? Was that? Not that SIDS. I don't want that. No, it's an SID. Standard Instrument Departure Route. Okay. Input SID. Okay.
You're going to fiddle with the route from a Dupo, and now select airway. So it goes to a Dupo, and now I'm going to join the airway Zulu 739.
Okay, so on my sim brief here, I have Zimmer to Chingy. But how do you know what's an airway? I don't, maybe... I'm confused about something, I think.
Zulu 739. Put that there. And I'm going to take that airway up until the point MISGO. M-I-S-G-O. And insert that there.
Still not clear on how he knows what's an airway and what's not.
And select that point. You're going to fiddle with the route from a Dupo, and now select airway. So it goes to a Dupo.
Okay. So I'm on Chingy. And I need to go on an airway. Airways from Chingy. What? So EKR? right? Airways from Chingy to EKR, so maybe I can't do that. Can I do like maybe EKR direct? Not in database? I don't understand. Hold up. I'm fundamentally
Now I'm going to
confused
join the
here.
airway Zulu 739. Zulu 739. Put that there. And I'm going to take that airway up until the point Misgo. Simbury for Greece. So from a depot, I'm going to take an airway. The airway is Zulu 72 plan up here, rest constraint. And I've got this, which is the range set to 10. Now I can just scroll through the waypoints in here with that little arrow and it flies along. And it shows me on this screen where the airplane will go. So that all looks pretty good. And that's going to take me out to that waypoint at depot. Okay, great. So a depot. My Simbury for Greece. So from a depot, I'm going to take an airway. The airway is Zulu 739. So again, select that point. You're going to fiddle with the route from a depot, and now select airway. So it goes to a depot. And now I'm going to join the airway Zulu 739. Zulu 739.
Okay, hold up. Let me go back in here. So I'm on flight plan. I'm going all the way out to Chingy, right? And from there I'm going to EKR. So what I need to do is select Chingy. Ah, crap. I messed up something here. Hold up. Okay, yes. Chingy. And lat rev from Chingy going to an airway. It is... I don't understand why it says Zimmer up here. From a depot. Rendy to a depot. Confused by that.
Put that there. And I'm going to take that airway.
So I should be doing EKR right here. It's actually kind of shocking to me how hard it is to do this. Like, why is this not more like Google Maps? Okay, so something is actually clearly not working. Ooh, something weird happened there.
Right, up until the point Misgo. M-I-S-G-O. And insert that there. So now the airways go in the left, and then the two waypoints, so the where you come off that airway goes in the right. So from Misgo, I'm going direct to Charlie Oscar Lima. So for that, I can go back here, Misgo, and now I can type it into this page directly. For example,
How does he know? I don't understand how he knows what's direct and what's an airway. Like, there must be something in the letters that indicate that. I'm like totally confused by that. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so Chingy. I still think I need to be entering EKR right here. Yeah, EKR VOR. And then you do the insert, right? So now I should be going from Chingy to EKR. Okay, so there's no airway. That's the problem. And then there's LEEHY 5. So from EKR, looking at airways, and it was LEEH 5. But again, that's probably a destination, right? So it probably goes over here, and then it'll think for a second, and... Oh, why is it... What's going on here? EKR should be above that, right? Did I click on the wrong... Did I click on the wrong thing? Hold up, let me erase that. KSLC, or EKR. We go there. Go to Airways. From EKR. LEEHY 5. Come comes up there. That's weird. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but let me just try insert. Yeah, they're backwards. LE. So I think if I go here, those are going to be backwards. Yeah, see. So something is messed up here. How do I remove? Oh wait, EKR is here, so I just need to delete this one. How do you delete? How do you delete one of these? Like, it's so weird to me that there's not just a delete button. I wonder if he says. Whoops, don't do that.
Well, if you're not using airways. So Flight Simulator may, if you use Flight Simulator to generate your routes, it doesn't always show you the airways, it just gives you all the waypoints. So if you'd like to tune those in one by one, you can. It's more time consuming. But to do that, I simply type it in. So Charlie, Oscar, Lima, and it's going to go below MSGO. So MSGO is this key here. Let me take you back to the correct view, which will hopefully make that more simple. So MSGO's there, so I'm going to select it there. Now normally it would let me put it in, but for some reason this simulator doesn't allow that. So if it doesn't work there, you can put it in the one below. And now these are all, it would normally tell you the distance away from you, so you don't get the wrong one. But I can see that this one's at north 50, whereas that one's at north 40. These are quite a long way away. West 74, whereas we're slightly east. So I know that's the VOR I'm looking for. Charlie, Oscar, Lima. It should really be the top one on that list normally, because that should be the closest one. And they're never that close together unless it's the same sort of waypoint. So there we go, I can insert that. And from Charlie, Oscar, Lima, we go direct to Ritsu. So again, I can do that straight on this page. Ritsu. I'm going to put it in there. And insert. Scroll down. Ritsu. I'm going to take an airway again. So select next to the waypoint, and you can see it doesn't have to be at the top of the screen. Just pick the waypoint so it's there. So press the one next to it, then airways, and from Ritsu. I'm going to take, and it tells me up here actually, airway from Ritsu. The real Airbus wouldn't show you all these old ones, and this will become a problem in a second, and you'll see why. Ritsu, and then Upper Lima 607. From Ritsu, Upper Lima 607, and we're going to take that to Abuka. Alpha Bravo Uniform, Kilo Alpha. Okay, so there you go. It seems to change its mind as well. I'm not sure what database it's using, but it's decided on its own airway. Sometimes it seems to do that, which is not what the aircraft does, so I don't know why. And there we go. Now, here's the problem. If I wanted to go from Abuka on another airway, it doesn't let me. There's no way for me to scroll do any more. So, like I say, in the real aircraft, I would select now Abuka and airways, and I'll be able to type in a whole fresh page. But it doesn't let me. So how do we get around that? Well, luckily, as you can see, our flight plan wants us direct to BATUB. So I'm going to type that in. BATUB inserts. But now we're a bit stuck, because I can't actually put in the airway. From BATUB, we're supposed to take the Mike 738. It won't let me do that. I've tried all these different things, so it seems to just have that limitation.
Okay, so that's easy enough. If you want to delete one, you can go to your flight plan, scroll down, enter a clear, and just boop. And I guess erase it. Oh, it's still there. What the heck? So clear, EKR. Oh, this is I get it now. The yellow is showing me what it's gonna become, basically. Oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense. So now if I scroll down, it should be gone. Yep, Leahy to KSLC, but I'm still missing my star. So let's just go.
So all I can suggest is I'm going to skip the airways and just do the waypoints. Now that's not how you do it in real life, because some of these airways may have turns in them. But here we go, BATUB to Adosa. And I can actually keep doing that. I don't need to keep inserting. So Adosa should take an airway, but it won't let me. So let's go Lumab. Put that in there. And you can draw out the route, see. And then it should take another airway, but it won't let me. So Gavra. Then go there. And then Riteb. And as you can see, you can just type it in and then just insert it at the end. Now, Riteb is the last waypoint I'm going to enter in as the flight plan, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
What I will do is, just before I do anything else, we go back.
It's going to take some work
just have a double check that this route looks sensible on our navigation display. So if I press flight plan,
it's
it
just
takes
going
me
to
to the
take
start.
practice
Then I can press
to
this
remember how to do
it
that.
looks like it's pointing up, but it scrolls down through the list. So there we go. Along the route we go. Let's zoom out on the range, and you'll get a sense. And you can see that, yeah, that looks sensible. That's a sensible straight route down to Rome Fiumicino. But as you can see, Riteb is the final waypoint on the flight plan before the arrival. Again, you'd need the charts if you want to go and use Navigraph for that to show you what these arrivals should look like. But for here, we're just going to set it up. In my ILS video, I talk a little bit about the charts, so I show them if you want to use them. Right, so now, because I've got up to that waypoint, which is the start of the star, it's called, the terminal arrival, I can now choose my arrival. So let's select the airport next to destination, LIIN.
So, do I have a star in my flight plan or no? No, 16 right. So maybe I don't.
Select here, just as we did earlier, except now it says arrival.
Maybe I don't know. So basically, I'm going to come here, do my destination. So basically, let me just write this down real quick. Input arrival star.
Not departure, so let's select arrival. And I'm going to select whatever I expect to do. So I'm hoping for the ILS onto runway. Let's take 16 left. Again, you look at the weather, or maybe air traffic will tell you.
So that's another thing that I would have to look up if I wanted to. I'm hoping for a 16 right, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So go to arrival and ILS 16 right. And it looks like, yeah, there's a few in here, but 16 right is really what I want. And I thought I just heard something weird. Hey, somebody just somebody's going crazy in front of me here. Wow, they are clearly drunk. Alrighty, yeah, so let me just make sure I'm inserting that correctly.
The approaches, I've got other videos on that. Well, I will certainly do soon. Right, I wanted the ILS 168, doesn't seem to have it. That's unusual. Okay, let's do an ILS 134 right instead then. And it's got a bind net and it's done that automatically. You can see up here, this yellow line shows what I've planned in, and it actually looks pretty sensible. It goes around from the south round and into Fiumicino. I know that my star, which is currently not showing, is the Riteb, so I'm going to go to Riteb. Scroll all the way through. Again, these are slightly...
Okay. So the star is actually different. So you have your approach and you have your star. I see. So the star is technically before the approach. Arrival. Okay. Input arrival. So technically, those are two different things. Arrival runway and star, and departure runway and SID. Selecting two airport and then arrival. Let me just unbold that. It's a little more legible.
Out of date as well, so your charts may not match it if you do go for the charts, but there we go. Riteb 2 kilo. And now it's got some extra bits in it. It goes Riteb and then around these points, and that's more accurate. So we've got the ILS approach that we want via a waypoint and star we've chosen, so I can insert that. And now that's done. That's all in green. If I go.
So again, I'm not sure how to pick my star though, because I don't think that's here. Star. Oh, hold up. So there's a SID here. So I guess maybe ski. So it looks like there's two options here, but I don't know what these mean exactly. Let me just look at what options are available to me. Bears, deltas, jammin'. He skis, okay. SSKI. So I don't have that. Yeah, not sure how to figure this one out. I don't think I saw a taco either. Yeah, no taco. Okay. Sky vector, that's what I wanted. So here's Salt Lake. So how do you know? I don't know how you know which star comes to which runway. Maybe this is just a guess and check thing, or maybe I would need to know beforehand. I mean, like, okay, let's say I look at Bear, right? I don't even... Where is even... Well, what am I looking at here? I'm so confused. I don't really know how to interpret these stars, to be honest. Okay, I see what's happening here. Ogden, OGD. So this would be a star for Ogden. I see. Go back. Let me check Bear again. Bear leads to Ogden here. So it looks to me, the way I'm interpreting this is that Ogden is, and if I go to my 16 right ILS page, 16 right is actually headed to the south, which is not really what I wanted, but it's fine. So now if I look at these, I can look at Bear. Let me just look at 2 just so I can get rolling. Bear and Jammin' basically, so, okay, so here's Ogden. Man, I have no idea what I'm looking at here. I don't understand which route is the route. You know what, for now, let me just go with Bear, and, let me just call that good enough. Oops, what am I doing?
We go to Flight Plan, let's go back to our copy of view, and we can scroll all the way through.
Okay, so that was it. That was pretty much it. Insert. And our flight plan. Yeah, now there's a... Oh no, what's happened here? Okay, that's my arrival. Okay, I gotcha. So basically... Yeah, so I come into the Skis 5. and then all these other ones make up the arrival. So let me just go back to flight plan, Mingy, Kiara, Lihi, and then all these last ones. There's a decel point in there. Wow, look at all that. And then runway 16 right. So let me go ahead and just glance at what that actually looks like. Oh, cool. I'm actually going to loop all the way around. Go to the very beginning. So I'm going to come out, bank to the west, go to the west for quite a while, and then, yeah, so unfortunately this didn't really go how I wanted, but I'm going to have a horrible turn way up and then a super sharp turn, and then I'll be on the star approach. So that's a knowledge gap I have. I'm just going to throw it in here for now. How do you select a star? I didn't see it in the sim brief. I don't know, but I'm getting antsy to get going here because it's getting late already. So I think that's pretty much it.
Now we'll get to see that arrival. Round it goes and in onto the ILS, and we've got the constraints pressed so we can see the altitude it wants us to be, and that's usually
it for
if
the
you're
flight
going to
plan, I
ILS.
should
As long as
say.
you're at these altitudes, you should be able to then intercept the ILS. I have a video on the ILS if you need help with that. So that is the flight plan page. Some things to note about this page. Now it shows us an expected arrival time, although it shouldn't really do that. It should show you the time it's expecting you to take on that route. And also a distance 783, so we can check that roughly against the flight plan we loaded to make sure it's sensible. And in real life, we would check these things, so we need to make sure it's roughly accurate. Or should I say accurate? Okay, so that is the flight plan. Now we have S for secondary flight plan, where we can load up another of these, which you might be able to use if there's a change of runway, something like that. Sadly, it does not work in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Airbus, the default Airbus, we can't use it today. Next will be radio nav, so rad nav here. Now you can see it's already tuned the ILS at the other end, that's into Rome, the ILS 34 right. But you might want to tune in a VOR here for your departure. Depends on your chart. Now these days a lot of these departures are RNAV, so you wouldn't bother. Because...
so that's in RadNav here.
It would automatically choose what it thinks is necessary. And RNAV waypoints are based on their points in space, so they need GPS effectively or something.
Okay, so I have some frequencies here. These are going to be, yeah, ADF1 and ADF2, which is fine. Okay, so ADF frequency. Okay. So basically I'm going to activate those ADFs when I'm coming into the runway, and that's what I'm going to use to...
navigation. This is more for if you're flying a conventional departure, where you need to use a VOR. So for example, around Amsterdam there is a VOR called the Sierra Papa Lima. Now a VOR is a navigation aid. I can type that in. Oh, no, it doesn't let me do it that way. / Sierra Papa Lima. Oh, it doesn't even let me do that. That's normally how you can type it in. So it wants the frequency. So I'm going to leave it as automatically tuning because it's an RNAV SID anyway. But that's what you might choose to put in there. Or maybe an NDB if you're using one.
Let me just check that real quick, because at least I should be able to check that against my 16 right ILS chart. And I'm coming up here, and where is that going to be? 890.0? Oh, no. ILS frequency should be in here, right?
One of those. So for example, a departure that says climb straight ahead to 6 miles on this VOR and then turn left onto a radial, things like that. Slightly more advanced navigation stuff.
So it clearly didn't put it in, so I had better go ahead and do that. Let's see, it's 16 right. So, let's see if it allows me to even do that. 16R, maybe? Okay, no, frequency. It's 111.9 for the localizer. I'm pretty sure I'm doing that right. 111.9. Whoops. Yeah, I think that's right.
Stuff in terms of piloting. Now we've done radio nav, and the next page we're going to look at is init B. So again, press init, and as I said earlier, you press this little arrow, either one will get you between the two pages, and now we're on to init B. For this page, hopefully it's set up about right, really. If you need to know the balance and performance of the airplane, you can check your weight in here. It gives you an idea.
Okay, so I just say input ILS frequency per ILS approach chart available at skyvector.com. There we go. And now I'm on to init B.
But it doesn't really show you the CG or so on, so you need to have seen that before you loaded up the flight, really.
That's the thing I was thinking of.
What you can do is, if you know what your CG is from having loaded up the flight earlier, and I'll show you how to do that now. So on the aircraft page, when you're setting up your flight, you'll be able to see a weight and balance section. In here, you can set it to pounds because we always load fuel in weights, really. I don't know why it's being gallons. And you can see over here the MAC. So this is the CG number. So here, in this case, you can see it is 21.6. If you adjust the weight, like if I increase the economy class weight, you'll see it move. That's pretty much what that is. You'll need to make sure you know the weight in kilograms instead of pounds, so that would involve a bit of conversions, sadly. So what you can do is type in that 0 fuel CG into here. So put in the slash and then whatever it is, let's say it's 26 today, and you can put that in. Now it won't let me do it, so I think it's going to make me demand that I do the whole thing. There we go. So if it doesn't let you, you can type in the whole thing to do that. Up here, taxi fuel, I'm going to put in 200 kilos, so 0.2, so it knows I'm going to burn that. Now why it doesn't have a trip fuel, I don't know. It should calculate how much fuel it thinks that route will take. Same for final reserves. Alternate fuel, I can take that from my sim brief. So my sim brief reckons the alternate fuel is going to be 1.
So let me just... I'm probably not going to do this tonight, honestly. Yeah, init B, 16.2. What did I write down? I had written down 26.8. And yeah, zero fuel weight center of gravity. Well, that's zero. Interesting. Zero fuel. Not sure what that's supposed to mean, to be honest.
7 tons, so 1.7. No, it's not taking that either. Oh well. And final reserve fuel, 1.2 typically. There we go, that works. Final reserve fuel, or this final time, is the amount of fuel you need to land with. Even if you divert, you still have this much fuel in tanks. So it's about 30 minutes normally, and that is 30 minutes holding at 1,500 feet above the destination. So in an Airbus, it's typically around 1 to 1.2 tons. Having said that, in a Neo, actually, it could be a bit less. Maybe I should change that to about 0.9. The Neo's obviously burning less fuel. Great. Block fuel would go in here. Now we have 10.6 tons on board. A bit much for that route, probably, but there it goes. To get my takeoff weight, now the aircraft should show me this, but we're going to have to calculate it. But that's fine. 0 fuel at 50.2 plus 10, so that's 60.2 plus 0.6, so that's 60.8. So let's just add those two together, put those in. The landing weight, again, it should calculate because it should know how much fuel it's going to burn. I wouldn't have to type that in normally. Trip wind, you can put in a plus or minus. I don't know if that works. Let's say it's a headwind of 10 knots, so I put in minus 10. Oh, there we go. It calculates a headwind for the flight. Extra time is showing the extra fuel you've got based on the numbers you've given it. So again, it doesn't seem to be working. Landing weight would be my takeoff weight minus the fuel I'm expecting to burn, which is about 5 tons. Plus the taxi fuel, so about 5.2. So let's say it's going to be 55.6. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We've now done the init B page. Like I say, normally in the real aircraft you would just type in the 0 fuel weight and the CG and the block fuel, and then it should fill the rest on its own, pretty much. But there we go. It's, you know, we do what we can. So that's the init B page done. Finally, P for performance. So let's go to there. Now it's currently set to take off. You can go through the phases using next and previous phase, but obviously we are interested in taking off, so let's go to the takeoff phase, which is the one it will automatically go to, because the airplane knows that's the next step. So takeoff from runway 24, and then it says takeoff shift. Now, it's rare to have to use that these days. You'd only use takeoff shift if you're taking off from an intersection in an aircraft without GPS normally, so that's the next step, taking off. So let's go to the it's, you know, we do what we can. So that's the init B page done. Finally, P for performance. So let's go to there. Now it's currently set to take off. You can go through the phases using next and previous phase.
I see. Gotcha. Is that the same as... Oh man, I wonder... Oh yeah, because it usually sets me to this when I'm doing performance entry.
But obviously we are interested in taking off, so let's go to the takeoff phase, which is the one it would automatically go to. Because
okay, so I'm gonna, I think, call it a night here, because obviously this is gonna have to be split into two different streams. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this so I don't have to redo all this stuff. I might do it just for practice, just to run through it. But I am going to go ahead and save it like this. Let me do something. Right there. So now I got that saved up. So in my last few minutes here, I'm just gonna go ahead and take off and get cruising, and then I'll call it a night. just so I can say I actually flew a little bit. Okay, the parking brake is set. Turn off those brakes. Go ahead and push it to 50% throttle, let it stabilize. And then parking brake off and 100, or toga throttle. And yes, I am also wondering if this runway is long enough to actually take off with a fully loaded A320. Looks like we're just barely gonna make it. Speed 1. And rotate. Positive rate, gears coming up. And I'm banking to the right. Basically targeting a 15-degree climb. And try not to get too banked. Things look good. I'm gonna go losing speed here. I'm gonna go ahead and raise the flaps up. To my flight plan. And yeah, I was actually losing speed there for a while.
Denver Tower Airbus November 75649er frequency change. Airbus November 75649er is type Airbus A320 at 5 miles west of Denver 7,300 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
Okay, so just trying to line up with my flight director here. Nose down, and I'm going to go ahead and engage. Oof. Okay, so there I am. Gears up, flaps are up, everything's looking good, autopilot's engaged, auto throttle is on. I'm cruising.
Airbus November 75649er Denver approach, continue to Mach B as planned. Altimeter tree 0.02.
See what my flight plan called for. Should be all the way up at 10,000 already. Go ahead and engage that. And there I go. Off into the mountains. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna call it a night there. I just don't really have time to actually do this flight tonight, but I will continue it. run through those diff strip procedures again, and hopefully make this flight in around an hour or 90 minutes. That is, of course, increasing the sim rate for the actual cruise portion of the flight. Yeah, so as always, if you watched, I hope you enjoyed. Whether or not you enjoyed, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Till next time.